One of the new things a final expense agent or even a life insurance agent has to master to get the best results out of their insurance sales business is learning how to identify replacement opportunities. There are so many insurance plans that are sold to our clients that are inferior, overpriced, and just frankly never should have been issued. And it's our job as insurance agents to help our clients maximize their coverage and give them the most value. And I'm going to give you 5 things that I look for when I sit down with a client to help them get better coverage when it is appropriate. My name is David Duford, owner of Duford Insurance Group, where I train and recruit agents nationally to sell things like final expense, Medicare, and annuities, both face-to-face and over the phone. So let's get right into it. So the first thing that I'm looking for is the smoking question and how it's answered. I can't tell you how many times as an agent I have run across in a field where applications are written up as non-smoker when the client is literally on their second pack of cigarettes right in front of me. This is an easy thing to identify. Just simply open up the policy. Look on the first, second, or third page. There should be a summary of the benefits close in that range. Worst case scenario, flip to the back of the application or the policy, and you'll see the copy of the application that was taken at the time of sale, and see where it's indicated in the actual application if it was written up as a smoker or non-smoker. Again, why is that a problem? Because if the client kicks the bucket within the 2-year contestability period, then they may not get their benefits as they thought. And there are plans out there that are competitively priced, and maybe you can get them a plan that will get them a better deal at a good price, but make sure if the person does pass away that they actually have coverage that will hopefully pay. The next thing I look for is height and weight. This is something most agents don't really talk about as far as something they look for, but this is commonly something that is unfortunately messed with and altered by the agent and not the client. I remember hearing about an agent who submitted an application on a lady that was rated at, I think, put at 5'80", or 5'8", 220. And when they pulled medical records on the client, she was actually 5'3", 340, and way outside of the height weight guidelines. And look, this is an easy thing to find in your pre-qualification stage. If you follow a process like what I teach, you should be asking about height, weight. And when you do review the policy, simply look to the copy of the application in the back. This comes up time and again, guys. Look to the copy at the back of the policy, I should say, the application, and see what the height and weight is put down at. If there's a big discrepancy, simply show the client, hey, are you 5'4", 380, and they're obviously 6 foot, 200. They're going to be shocked because they'll say, just like the smoker question, I told that guy I was so-and-so height and weight. And that's going to secure you the same opportunity to possibly replace and get a better deal. Okay, so number 3 tip here is obviously the big one, which is how the client has answered the health questions. Now, this is kind of interesting, guys. I used to be of the mindset that the health questions were something that the agent, coordinated to fool the client with to get himself the best deal. But this isn't always the case. Sometimes the clients are in on the fraud as much as the agents are. But either way, it doesn't matter to me. Because again, in the process of reviewing the policy, I go to the back of the application, review the health questions. And if I've done my preliminary pre-qualification up to this point, and I find there's a discrepancy, I question them on that. I show them where it was it was identified in the actual application as being a no, when they clearly already told me it's a yes. And I explained to them the same things that could happen if they happen to pass away sooner than the 2-year contestability is up. And it puts a lot of pressure on the client, not in a guilt-tripping type of way, but they've never been kind of shown what will happen if they suffer the consequences of making a bad decision, if they were in fact part of it. As a side note, I never blame them or push them or aggravate them for the decision they made. I just more or less tell them there's a way out of this, to be straight about this and not be in a position where you can harm your family by making a bad decision. So review the health questions. Always look through it with a fine-tooth comb. Again, there's lots of opportunities to replace many times. Another thing here I'm going to look for, a big one, is the type of insurance policy sold. I can't tell you how many people were happy to get their guaranteed issue company from coverage from, say, Colonial Penn, not knowing that the plan that they bought from them was a 2-year waiting period policy. And I simply just reviewed the policy, pointed out exactly where it said that there was no full coverage for the first 2 years, just a return of premium plus 7%. Likewise with term insurance companies, we also discussed, of course, a couple of days ago, the guaranteed or the universal life implosion that's going on right now. So we're looking for these opportunities to show them how these plans work versus what they were told. And so now that they know the facts behind how these plans are going to work, they can make a decision if they really want that, and if not, maybe get something better through me. Number 4 here on my slow loading phone is number 5, I should say, and the last one is high price. So this is obviously a big one. Let's say you're selling for the company named after an American president or one of these high-priced life insurance final expense companies. You're going to find opportunities all day long if you simply just look for it, where the pricing of the coverage is just flat out over the top relative to what you have as a broker. Hopefully you are an independent agent, because it makes the replacement off of price a lot better deal. Now, keep in mind here, as I kind of wrap this up, let me step back though and explain pricing. Pricing isn't just get your clients to save $10, $20 a month. That's not a big deal. Sometimes it is to a client. But I think what really matters in a world where inflation's going through the roof and the cost of funerals are skyrocketing a lot faster than the regular price of goods, that you sell your clients on having more coverage than they think. Because what's going to cost today for a funeral may be double in 20 years based on what we've seen in inflation trends in the funeral business. So many times simply just matching the price they're paying and getting them the couple thousand more dollars in coverage is an even better deal to a lot of our clients if they're sold in that idea that, yep, stuff goes up. We best be prepared. So last thing I'll say on this, just as a whole thing I probably should have said in the beginning, but it's important to understand, don't make replacements when it's not appropriate, okay? Don't force the replacement, especially if it's not in the best interest of the client. This goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway because it is worth saying and mentioning that you're trying to help people. You're not trying to sell your client a bill of goods that's inferior from what they have. And using these kind of 5 different things makes it a possibility to replace a lot of coverage, because there actually is a lot of coverage that is just inferiorly designed. And as a broker especially, you can go in there and give your clients the best deal, and they're going to love you for it, and you're going to make more sales because of it. My name is David DeFord at DeFord Insurance Group. Hope you enjoyed this training. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe, and feel free to leave a comment below if you have any questions, comments, or criticisms. And if you'd like to learn more about my agency, there's links above and below that'll take you to an FAQ page to learn more about what it's like working with yours truly. Thank you so much for watching, guys. See you next time. Take care.